Hi there, and welcome to another Blackboard tutorial video. In this video, which is the second in a three-part series on collaborating with students, we're going to be looking at blogging. Blogging is a really great way to get your students viewing each other's work and commenting on each other's work, or any assignment really where they have to create a portfolio or share artifacts with the class. And blogging is certainly an internet phenomenon that has gotten a lot of attention in the last 5 years. There are very popular blogging platforms like WordPress or Blogger from Google that are really, really great. But we're going to show you how to create these in Blackboard. And there are some very good reasons why you should consider Blackboard as a blogging platform. Number one, it's protected. So with WordPress or Blogger, the blogs that the students are creating are completely public, and anybody on the internet can access those. But with the Blackboard blogging platform, it's internal to just the people in the course. The second reason is that it makes grading and assessment of those blogs very easy. Of course, with everything Blackboard, it's tied right into your full grade center, and you can assess those blogs particularly easy without too much trouble. So let's show you how to create a blog. And while we're doing that, I just wanted to highlight that there is a big difference between blogs and journals, and it's something that you sort of have to think about before you go through the process of creating and getting your students to do this. The big difference between a blog and a journal is that a blog is public to all the people in the course, so everybody can see what each other are posting. A journal is meant to be a one-to-one relationship between the student and the teacher. And even though they're very similar, that's the big difference between those two. So if you think that your students are going to be doing sort of sharing private thoughts or private artifacts, then you're better off with a journal. If you want to sort of foster that collaborative environment where the students are seeing each other's work and commenting on each other's work, a blog is the way to go. So let's look at how to create a blog. We want to go under Course Tools and click the Blogs button. And after a second, it'll load to a typical Blackboard screen. We see we have an option here to create a blog. So I'm going to create one. And it's not necessary to create an individual blog for each student. That'll all just sort of happen automatically. But what you want to call this blog is the name of your assignment, whatever that may be. So I'm going to call this Portfolio Assignment, and I'm going to move on here. So there's a box for instructions if I want to give that to the students. We have a standard availability box, so whether the blog should be available to students, as well as display after and display until, which is all about when the blog is going to appear and when it is going to disappear. And then we have sort of our blog-specific options. So we have two choices here. We have a blog that is individual to all students, or we have a course-based blog. And a blog that's individual to all students is where everybody sort of gets their own blog. Everything's kind of separate, even though you can still see what the other people are doing. But a course blog is designed to be used in a collaborative course-based project. So think about two different assignments. The first one is that the student has to post an artifact to their blog every week. That's going to be an individual blog. In the second assignment, think of something like where each student has to contribute one artifact and the class will together build something cool. That would be a course-based blog. So you can kind of pick whichever one you want depending on how you have your assignment set up. And below that we have an option to allow anonymous comments. So one of the key portions of blogging is whether people can comment on your blog or not. So whether you want that to happen anonymously or not is entirely up to you. The next setting is here by default, but it really doesn't matter too much. And it's how often the blog entries are going to be indexed or sorted. And it's really up to you. It's not going to stop the student from doing more blog entries. So if you set this to weekly and they post something in their blog and later want to post something else, it's not going to stop them from doing that by any means. It's just a quick way for you to organize your content. So if they have to do one post a month, I would leave it at monthly. If they have to do one post a week, leave it at weekly. And then some more standard options here. Allow users to edit or delete the entries. So do you want your students to be able to edit or delete what they've written? And then allow the users to delete the comments. So if they've made a comment on a blog, do we want them to be able to delete that or not? And again, completely up to you. All depends on what kind of classroom you're running and what fits best with your assignment. So the last section is about grading. So how many points is the blog going to be worth? Remember, this is points for the entire blogging assignment. And just like with discussion boards, it's about how many, this option here is about how many entries before it calls your attention to it. So how many times do the students have to post per week or per month before it goes to needs grading. So again, if you have the student that needs to post one blog entry and comment on 2 other people's, you would want to put this to 3. If they only have to post the 1 blog entry themselves, then leave it at 1. And then a due date and a rubric, fairly standard options again. So I'm going to click submit, and this is going to do its thing. And there you can see after a quick second we have a portfolio assignment listed, and it gives us some information about it. I can go back here and change any of the options that I like. Or I can go in here and view the blogs that the students have put together. So there's nothing in here right now, but when our students go in and start posting, this will become populated with content. The next thing that we want to show you how to do is how to link this blog to a content area so that your students can actually see it. And this is kind of an overreaching Blackboard concept as we get into the bigger parts of more complicated parts of using Blackboard, is that you'll create something but you still have to make a link to it. So let's go and do that right now. What we want to do is click on Tools, click Blogs, and it's going to ask us which blog we want to link to. We want to link to our portfolio assignment, and we have our standard display after, display until available options there. Those are all fine, so I'm just going to click submit. And then down here at the bottom we have a link to our portfolio assignment. We're going to end this video here for now, but in the second sort of mini part 2 to be continued type thing, what we're going to do is look at the student view of the blog and then show you how to grade those. So be sure to check those out. They'll be posted in the same section as this video.